All right, first grade. This is again another phonics paper. This is for pages 139 to 140. Page 139 to page 140. If you do not have the paper in front of you, please grab it. This paper, you need to pay very, very close attention so that you get all the instructions, so that you do it properly, and you won't accidentally do something incorrect. That means wrong. Okay? So on the first section right here, it says to circle the words with ought and ought. As you know, ought has two different spellings. If you look, it's either A-U-G-H-T or O-U-G-H-T. Both sounds say ought. And in this section right here, it wants you to just look for these sounds, A-U-G-H-T or O-U-G-H-T. In each of the boxes, it's going to have three different words, as we see here. 1, 2, 3. In each box, there is one word with either the O-U-G-H-T or the A-U-G-H-T. Both say ought. So, I'm not going to give you all of the answers. We are going to go through 4 of them. We're going to go over this first box right here. We have the words thought, thatch, and thumped. So already, just by saying them out loud, we see which word has the O-U-G-H-T. You are to circle the entire word. We then move on to the second one. This is awful, thawed, and ought. Already, once again, you see the letters O-U-G-H-T. Not in this one, not in this one, but right here. All this section is wanting you to do is to find ought, A-U-G-H-T, or ought, O-U-G-H-T, and this is helping you sound other words out. We're going to then come to number 3. We're going to see the words caught, cough, and caught. Once again, we are looking for either O-U-G-H-T like this one, or we're going to look for A-U-G-H-T. With just by looking at these, you see the A-U-G-H-T right here in the word caught. We then move on to number 4. We have the words doubter, which is somebody who doesn't believe in something, daughter, and shouter, somebody who likes to shout. So daughter, or doubter, daughter, and shouter. Already, once again, you can find the A-U-G-H-T right here. So this wants you to circle it. It wants you to do it for each of these sections. Find O-U-G-H-T or A-U-G-H-T and circle the word. There will be one word circled per each square. Okay? That's section number 1. Section number 2 says to underline the root word and circle the suffix. With these words, we have part, quickly, slower, driving, beeped, and stopping. Once again, I will not be giving all of the answers because each of you know how to do this. I'm going to explain what this wants you to do. So with parked, you find the root word. When you find the root word, you underline it. Park. When you find the suffix, it wants you to circle it. So with parked, the root word is park. The suffix is ed, which says t. So park, t, parked. We then move on to this one, where it says quickly. You find the root word. Once you find the root word, you underline it. And that all that leaves left is the suffix. Underline the root word and circle the suffix. Section number 3. Pay very close attention because this one will trick some of you if you're not careful. The instructions say, read the words and write them under their leaders. What I'm about to circle are their leaders. The EN is a leader, the UN is a leader, and the WR are leaders. So on top, you will see a pink rectangle. That, as we know, is called your word bank. In your word bank, there are several different words. The first one we see is wrench. So you look at the leaders. Wrench, you're going to see, has a WR. You're going to match it. WR goes to WR, and you write wrench. We then look to the bottom of wrench, and we see the word unhook. The word unhook has a UN. You match UN to UN, and it wants you to write unhook. We then go to this word right here, where it says entwine. Entwine. We're going to see the EN, and like the other ones, you match EN to EN. And then it wants you to write entwine. Okay? Now, these other words need to go with their leader. So you see WR, EN, and UN. Your job is to get these words to go with their proper leader. Okay? You then turn the page around, and you're going to see what looks very familiar to all of you. But notice it just says to circle the special sounds. It does not want you to mark your vowels. These special sounds you'll remember from your reading this morning in the handbook for reading. We have your in pure and chur as in pasture. Okay? All it wants you to do is circle all of your special sounds. Do not mark your vowels. I will not be giving you all of the special sounds. We're going to go through 3 words in each of the boxes. So in this first box, your as in pasture, we come to the word cure, U-R-E. Next, we see pure, U-R-E. But then this word endure, don't forget this E-N, because it is a prefix, it is a special sound. And then once again, we see U-R-E, your as in pure. So we have cure, pure, and endure. Your job is to find the other special sounds in those 3 words. We then move on to our second box, where it's chore as in pasture. The first word that we see here is capture. Like, I'm going to capture something. Once again, we see immediately what the special sound is, which is T-U-R-E. Chore as in pasture, and now in capture. We then move on to this. This word is fracture. Be sure that you're sounding all of these words out to help you understand what the special sound is. So in fracture, we see 2 different special sounds. The first one is immediate with a fur as in fracture. But then once again we're introduced and we see the T-U-R-E. Fracture. Fracture. We then move to this one. Nature. Like outside is nature with the trees and the birds and the bugs. All of that is nature. And so immediately, right away, we see T-U-R-E. That's nature. Chur as in pasture and in nature. Your job is to figure out the rest of the special sounds. We then move down to where it says double the final consonant and add the suffix. So please pay very, very close attention to this section, because I do not want you to get this wrong. Okay? So you'll see right here where I have starred, it says you can use either ing, ing, ed, en, or er. You can use those for any of these words. It does not matter which suffix you use. It needs to make sense and it needs to go with the word. So for the first one, we're going to do 4 of these. For hit, double the final consonant is the first instruction. We know this is the final consonant. So we're going to rewrite the word. Double it, make 2 of them. And we're going to pick a suffix. So let's just choose ing. ing. So hit, double the final consonant, T-I-N-G. Hitting. Okay, let's move on to cap. So once again, let's start with what the first instruction is, which is doubling our final consonant. So cap, double the final consonant, add another P, and pick a suffix. Since we picked ing first, let's go ahead and pick ed. So we just add an ed. Now it doesn't say cap, it says capped. Like you recapped your soda, or you recapped your sandwich container. You put the cap on, you put the lid on. So it goes cap to capped. Okay, let's move on to dig. So once again, follow the first instruction, which is to double the final consonant. So dig, double the G. And since we already picked ing, since we picked ed, let's go ahead and pick er. Okay, so now we need to do is add the suffix er. So no longer is it dig, but now it's digger. Somebody who likes to dig. Digger. Okay, we're going to do one more. Zip. Once again, follow the first instruction, which is doubling the final consonant, which in this case is a P. So Z-I-P, double the final consonant. And now you need to ask, what makes sense? Zipping, zipped, zippin', or zipper? Either ing, zipping, zipped, or the er, zipper, will work. So let's go ahead and just add ing. So because we doubled the final consonant, which is the P, Z-I-P-P, we now asked ourselves which suffix makes sense, and we chose ing. So it's zip goes to zipping. Your job is to do the same thing with each of these. Run, get, dip, and nap. Do not forget to double your final consonant and then add any of these suffixes. But it must make sense. Okay? Say them out loud. If it doesn't sound like a word, more than likely it's not a word. So be sure you double the final consonant and then add the suffix. So please be careful with this worksheet. I don't want any of you to get it wrong because you didn't follow the instructions properly. Remember that if you have questions, your parents can call or text me and I'll answer them to help you out. So please take your time and be sure that you're reading your handbook for reading so that this will make a lot more sense and it can be easier for you. So don't forget, if you have questions, you can ask me.